What's up, guys? This is Frenzy. Welcome back to another episode of Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start out with Kirindi, castle level 20. So I'll go on my archer. And let's just see. Alright, so this is a obviously good time waster. Especially coming out of this tunnel, it makes it a little bit harder for me to actually get to the Robo-Shieldatron. And then a lot of the time I'm going to get slammed from that. I think the sound is just a little bit too high, so let me lower that. There was a patch today, so... let's see if that's any better. Yeah, every time they patch, it seems to reset all of my options. I think that's the same for everybody, but yeah. It's a little annoying. Alright, so that was just like a fake snotter. That's fine. This looks suspicious, like kind of a, you know, pull of some sort. Okay, is this guy on traps? No, he's on headshot. Alright, see, the whole purpose behind like the puppeteer with medic, I think most of the stuff's gonna get killed before it's really gonna take benefits from like heal. The only thing that I could say is maybe the hunger bot might not die. Like you had two hunger bots here, and one of them died even before I got to it. Maybe you're trying to combine that medic puppeteer with this possibility of pulling the Jimbo, which I guess is okay, but I don't know. And then you have two Squidlies, which is like 4 points, maybe. I mean, I don't mind the Squidlies because I guess some people might try to fight them and then get pulled by this, so maybe it opens them up a little bit more. This is just such... this is like one of the few rooms that you can actually use pulls down a choke, so almost everyone expects a pull here, and I'm assuming 9 times out of 10 you're going to have even more than that, like, you know, 49 times out of 50 or something like that, people are going to pull back around this corner. Like, it's almost all the time that people are pulling back around these corners, so I don't think you can really expect for that pull to happen. I mean, you can throw it in there, obviously, almost everybody does, but I don't know. There could be other things, like you could remove the puppeteer and remove Squidlies for better units or something like that, or you could just leave it the same. I mean, it is just kind of what it is. It's a pull, and I'm assuming people will die a good majority of the time if they get pulled by it. You're throwing them basically straight into a Jimbo, and like obviously a healer would work really well here because you have the Defendatron guarding the Jimbo. So even when the Defendatron dies, the Jimbo's going to be able to get healed as well. So I mean, a healer with this group is great if it works out, but a lot of the time I don't think you're really going to get this pull off and get the trap the way you want it. Also, with that, like obviously this Jimbo group is good on its own, but it may not kill the person 100% if they get pulled by this. I think they'll have a decent chance to survive through this pull. The only pull that really can kill someone, I think, in 2 groups is something with a Stairmaster. It's not something that you need to throw in necessarily. I'm just saying, like, they might live through this if they just use potions like crazy. It's not necessarily bad, though. Okay, I like the archers because it kind of makes me want to charge into this Defendatron. When I see that, I kind of want to charge in and just take it down because this could waste a lot of time if I let it build up, you know? So you want to deal with it as quickly as possible. So I like the archers, it kind of gives free shots. I would say you could probably even pull them back farther, like into here. That'll make it so that I can't kill them as easy. And spread them out so that one volley can't take them out, you know? Maybe move this mine as well so it doesn't get in the way, and then spread them out in these corners, I think. Just like at the maximum range of where the pull could happen. And I think it would work just slightly better. Alright, this feels like a pull only because of the narrow corridor again. Right, when you see these narrow corridors, it almost always feels like a pull to me. But obviously it wasn't. Alright. Is this gonna pull something? Okay, so this is kind of the long type of, like 3 groups in one room setup that I might have. Although I've changed mine recently, I'm just trying something new. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it like that. But I like the Hunger Bots, it gives you an opportunity to pull them back. The only problem is I would almost prefer you, if you could, to move this back from here, like 1 square, although I think that might be on the line between 2 rooms. So you might have to have it there, which is fine, I guess. Alright, so you have a Jimbo here. Medic Puppeteer is fine with a Jimbo. And then you had a Hunger Bot to pull you through into this, which is kind of the setup that I have. Okay. So I think this room is laid out pretty well. The only difference that I have when I had it like this is I had a lot more units, and this group here wrapped all the way back around into the next room, and that actually forced the Hunger Bot to come out and come through the middle here, and then you get pulled into the Pete Pound more. I think how yours is set up now, your Hunger Bot's probably like somewhere over in here, or even up in here somewhere. Which is okay. I mean, if it comes in from an angle here and maybe the hero's standing in this area, it's possible that they could still get pulled by both. They could still like pull both groups. So yeah, that's fine. And it's only because you're using a higher point creature than I am. And I've kind of switched this room recently because people were able to one-shot volley Cyclops, which is just kind of pointless to even use Cyclops anymore. I mean, like a lot of them at least. You know, 1 or 2 in a group is okay, but having a room that's full of Cyclops like I had before isn't working out the way I want it to anymore. Alright, so I accidentally pulled like at least 2 groups. So I mean, this is obviously a standard, you know, double to triple pull room. I wasn't really paying attention to that fact, but yeah, you definitely have some good pulls set up. You had like a Scorpio, Pete Poundmore, and a Zeke all being pulled if you go too far or you use like a big area of effect. And that's pretty good. It all will kind of work out well for you. So I pretty much like this room. What is like the support that you have? You had a Bad Dog with a Pete Poundmore, I'm guessing, and then a Puppeteer to heal. Yeah, I like this room. That's pretty good. It's a very standard room, but you did it well, so. Alright, so again, I'm thinking that I want to charge in here, but I remembered your last room there. But yeah, it's pretty annoying to try to kill this Defendatron while these archers are shooting at you. Again, I would say if you can spread them out more, do it. Just so they won't die to 1 volley. But I know as they start to walk towards the hero, they always clump up a little bit more, so you may have them already spread out. Which is fine. I mean, it's good. Okay, this is an obvious pull. Sometimes this happens where if you hug the wall, the jelly wall still doesn't stick. I don't know why that is. Sometimes you can like rotate it like 360 and do it the other way, and sometimes it sticks better. So that's something you can try, because this one side of your jelly wall is not working. But yeah, if people were wondering like with attacking, like why I did this, right? I could have like hugged this wall and came in or something. It's because I had my skill bar in the way. And I'm gonna be doing an attacking guide on Archer in a little bit, and I'm gonna try to point out all this stuff. But you notice how I came all the way around here because this gives me the most vision in this area as possible. So I was able to see it before it's coming. But how this is laid out, it's pretty good. Like, you're gonna have the skill bar in the way a good majority of the time, unless somebody does that like hook around like I did, which takes a few more seconds, but you don't risk dying. So, alright, so this is a good Archer placement. I can't kill them all in 1 volley. I would say you could even spread them out a little bit more than this. You know, you have like 2 here and 2 here, but you could maybe have 1 like up here on each side and 1 down here is on each side. Just a little bit of extra spread to, you know, make volley a little less effective, but I think you won't be able to. Like, if you can put 1 in the middle, do that as well. And like the squidlies up in here, just so you can mitigate the volley damage, because almost every archer is taking volley these days. Okay, double Scorpio and 1 other pull with a... trying to see what this is protecting. Okay, so a healer. Alright, so I mean, this room is fine. It's like less cheesy than 3 Scorpio, and it still probably does a reasonable job at your level, with the heals and the extra Hunger Bot as well to, you know, help pull in. So all in all, this was pretty good. Just those couple little positioning changes, I would say, and overall it was a pretty good castle. So we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, and for number 2 we have Halgoh, castle level 20. So I'll jump into my archer again. Alright, so good spike trap placement, I can't avoid it. This guy, I'm guessing, is charging. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so the only thing I would say is maybe you can... I believe this spike trap is back as far as it can go, or as forward as far as it can go. If there's any way that you could possibly make this pull just slightly farther back, because I'm kind of almost able to pull, like as soon as I come around this corner, right? I can just pop around this corner, shoot the chicken, and move back, and then that, you know, allows me to spend less time on the spike trap. So if there's some way that you could maybe move the Cyclopses kind of back in here somewhere, and put the chicken maybe here, just to get this aggro circle as far back, make it so it's not skippable obviously, but so that I'm farther on the spike trap before I realize what's going on. Or before I can even aggro anything. Alright, so 3 Cyclopses on charge. Personally, I think that's a little overkill. I like to have... Like, Cyclopses on charge by themselves don't do much damage. The like, benefit of the charging Cyclops is the extra, like, crowd control effect that you get. You get the pull and the, you get the push and the stun. So I like to combine those with things like archers, to really do extra DPS to the hero. So I would say maybe you could remove one of those, as well as... I'm not sure if there's any traps. Like, what trap do you have? I feel like this is kind of a missed opportunity right here. Like, obviously, fire traps are okay, but as I'm going through them, the Cyclopses aren't really synergizing well with the fire trap. There's something else that you could probably put in here, like a rotating cannon, maybe a spike trap, but probably not. Something so that when I'm leaving that area, the Cyclopses push me back into it and does extra damage. Okay, so your castle was level 20, but you don't have level 20 Scorpios yet. I mean, that's an upgrade. I guess you'll probably boost your castle level if you do that. But yeah. Alright, so let's actually look at the room in itself. You got a puppeteer. You're basically just trying to hit this pull. The pull is in a good position, meaning I can't see it as I'm coming down here. You had the Scorpio and the Hungerbot, so I think this is a fine setup pull. Like, even if you miss this pull, it's still going to take a good amount of time to like avoid it. Okay, so if I don't hit this pull, the Scorpio is still going to take a reasonable amount of time to kill, so it's not really like going to waste, or going to, I don't know what I want to say, but yeah. However, it's going to launch you into a group that's not really going to do all that much. Like this, the thing that I always say about these springboard combo traps is if you're going to launch someone into another mob group, you want it to be a big DPS mob group, because this is more of a time waster than anything else. You're basically going to throw someone here just to have them get knocked back by Cyclopses to the same position, and all you're really adding to the group is a Hungerbot and 2 Cyclopses. That's not really all that scary for someone to be dealing with, like, on top of something else. It's just going to die to one volley. So I would say, like, Stairmasters or a bigger unit like Pete Poundmore or maybe another Scorpio or something like that would be better. Something that's scary when you get thrown into it. Another 3 Cyclops room. The same thing like kind of applies. These Cyclopses aren't really a big damage dealer. Like when I get hit by these, it's like 100 damage. Whereas the over the head pound ones are something like 600 damage when they get their hits off. So it's a lot bigger deal. When you have 3 of those, you can do a possible like 1800 damage if they all hit. So I like combining them with other things. So same thing applies here. The only difference you have the spike trap. The problem is it's kind of skippable, right? Like the spike trap isn't really going to hit anybody, and the Cyclopses themselves aren't forcing you to hit it. They're only just knocking you kind of away from it. The only other thing that I could say you could do is possibly throw in like a Hungerbot or a Scorpio right here, and right in front of it, something like here, so that as they aggro this group, the Scorpio pulls you on top of the springboard trap, and then you can make a decision to like run off of it really quick or run back over it to get away from the Scorpio. I think a Scorpio would be pretty good here, to be honest. Alright, so Zeke with the Defendatron guarding it. I like this group. I have one in my castle as well. The positioning itself, I'd like it a bit better if you had... See, there's no real way to spot for this because you have all of the points used with those 3 units. I have the same thing in mind, and what I have going on a little bit differently is I have a jelly wall leading it. Like, I don't know where you could put a jelly wall here. You could put one like here, but that would scrap both of these traps. But basically I have a jelly wall where the aggro circle is right on that other side of the jelly wall, so you kind of have to back through it or charge in or something like that. But how this is now, you don't really have much range to work with, but then you have the Defendatron, so I mean it's okay. I don't know, you could play around with the positioning of these units a little bit. I don't know if it's ideal, but I don't know exactly what I would do to make it better either. This is another problem with a lot of Cyclopses that I think I said in the previous castle. As you have so many Cyclopses, they all die to one volley. Like, obviously I'm over leveled, but I do this to level 24 Cyclops as well, so... This room I like already quite a bit better than all of your 3 Cyclops rooms. I like this combination a bit better. Like, their archers, the Cyclops is going to force the archers to get their hits. The only problem with this room is the vision, and also this this silence trap would be so much better if it was placed back a little bit. I know you can't do that because of this trap, but you can either like move the minions if you can farther back. Yeah, I think that would be even better. Since you don't have any minions in this room, I would say make it so that your Cyclops is going to push you into this stun, or into this silence trap, and then your archers are going to be pelting you from the top side. I think that would be a lot better, actually. Alright, so is this the actual way to go? No? Okay. So we have a choke here. I'm a little scared of a pull. Alright, so that was... I'm not sure what I would do differently. First of all, I wouldn't die. That's the first thing I'm going to do differently. Secondly, if you can... Let me take a look. So I was like standing in here somewhere. I don't know if you quite can do this the way I was thinking, because the choke's so small and stuff. I kind of wanted the units kind of back in here somewhere, and you can mess around it to see if you can like move the units back a little bit and still make it work, still make like the angles work for the Hungerbot pull, basically to try to get this under the skill bar. Because as I was coming up here, I saw the Stairmasters before the pull really happened. So kind of like right here, your aggro circle was like right in here, but I could still see the Stairmasters, so I knew what was coming beforehand. So yeah, if you can mess around with the positioning to make it work a bit better for you. And then this the same boss room that I used to have. I have changed it since then. Alright. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Those couple little positioning things, and I will jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, for number 3 we have Ringsel, castle level 24, so the same level as my archer. So this is kind of an equal level fight here between us. Alright, so this is either a really long pull or it's just a fake, and it looks kind of like a fake. Alright, so that was kind of a good fake. I mean, it looks like something's going to be coming, but it still takes a bunch of time. You know, every time somebody sees a creature, they're going to be like, okay, the real pull's coming, the real pull's coming, but then it won't come. Okay, that was a terrible volley by me. The only thing I would say is that maybe you could move your silence trap just out slightly. I don't know if you have any traps back here that's gonna make it so that you can't move that that way. But like I've said before, this sort of a room like just smells like a pull to almost everybody nowadays. So if you can move it back just slightly so that, you know, because I can come in here and aggro it with one shot, and then I'm just gonna run backwards over here. So if you can make the silence bubble a little bit larger into this room, I think it would be a little bit better. Because you kind of have to hope that, you know, like this is going to be better against knights, obviously, because they have to run all the way back around here to be able to get the Stairmasters and stuff away from the silence so they can actually use abilities. So I guess it's pretty good against knights. But I think it would even still be better if you can move it just like one hex up and 1 hex to the side. Alright, so this could be a pull, but I'm thinking that it's a little bit too far up for it to be a pull in this room. So it was a fake. No, it wasn't. Okay. So lots of hunger bots. Hunger bots coming from every angle. Unless you're trying to make this a time waster room for knights, I would say it's a little bit too many hunger bots, because archers can clean them up pretty well. Something that I've seen someone do very recently is they added in a Defendatron on his AoE defend ability, so that volleys wouldn't work on big groups of mobs, and he had them kind of combined with a bunch of hunger bots like this. There wasn't Stairmasters though. So, I mean, if you wanted to make it a time waster for knights and for archers, with almost no possibility of killing, you could do the same thing, but replace the Stairmasters with Defendatrons on their AoE, and then when people try to volley, it'll just block it all out. And take a lot longer for archers to deal with. I was having some trouble with someone that was doing that. But then I just ended up, because they did it in literally every room, it was just this room over and over and over again with that same setup I just described, and I just pulled the entire dungeon and just kept following it until it died, because there's no DPS in it. So as long as you combine it with other things, I think it'd be fine. So the only problem with this, let me just not die before I say it. Oh no, no, don't die. Alright. Is the fact that, you know, you have the Defendatron on the Mega Mutton, but the Mega Mutton really needs to take damage in order for him to be effective. I personally like heals on Mega Muttons because they'll take damage, they'll get their enrage or whatever, that forces them to charge, and then they start to heal back up, so you kind of still keep them alive a little bit longer. Because Mega Mutton's auto attack in and of itself isn't all that good. It's just like the charge plus the fire damage if they hit their charge. It's not necessarily bad. Like, I don't hate the Defendatron on it, because I think they still do get the fire regardless, maybe? I don't know, I still don't know everything about Mega Muttons. I just started using them this patch, so... it's not terrible. Yeah, it's not terrible, but I think that maybe you could, you know, add in a healer or two instead of the Defendatron. And maybe it would work better, maybe it wouldn't. Oh, okay, so you have this guy defending this guy. So obviously a huge time waster here. So there's two really good time waster rooms kind of back to back, and then you combine that with like a Mega Mutton that's also kind of a time waster because of the Defendatron. So I guess I do like how the dungeon is sort of, it's all working together to make one big time waster. So I'm wondering if that's like your main objective here and not really killing the hero. I was talking about like better for killing, but if you're, you know, using it more for delay tactics, then obviously it's pretty good. And that's another reason why you probably have so many Defendatrons pretty much everywhere here with all of your groups, is because that's probably your goal. Make people not be able to get through it in time. So yeah, again, the same thing here. But now that I know kind of more why you're doing what you're doing, I think it's fine. Oh, I like this actually quite a bit, because I can't use a volley here to aggro this, so I have to walk in to do this, and then I have to like pull back, and I guess I don't even know how to deal with this correctly. I guess do something like that and wait for the Defendatron to get it ahead. This wastes quite a bit of time, and it's a pretty good damage dealer, so I like this room a bit. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good silence placement, and good mobs with it, I suppose. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so again, Defendatrons, obviously this is kind of playing the same theme that you want to just waste time. Alright, like I said, this is almost always a pull. I can come over here and drop a volley right there. Okay, but it's with a Scorpio, so again with like the time waster, but a pull also. So I'm guessing you might have a springboard trap here. Yep, springboard trap. Let's see what you lead it into. Okay, and Stairmasters. Yeah, this one I like quite a bit more than the last person who used kind of the same opener for this. But then when you hit this, you land right in front of these two Stairmasters that are going to get, you know, 2 or 3 bubbles off. So you have a lot more chance of killing someone with this. It's a lot more dangerous. And then you also have another pull that pulls you into the boss room, so this should almost be an instant kill. The only problem with it set up like this, as opposed to like the Jimbo, and then I think there was another one that I did, I think all 3 of them had kind of the same overall combo here, is when you get pulled by this, or if you miss this pull, and like this, like how it happened with me, you miss the pull, I kill these off, and then I come here, and this is a really easy cleanup for me. I just drop a volley and everything pretty much dies. That's the only difference, is Jimbo will take a little bit more time for the other person. And then you finish it off with the 3 Scorpio boss room. Alright. So we have to kite all the way back pretty much. And just keep kind of throwing down headshots. It's the easiest way for archers to deal with this. Until at least one of the Scorpios is dead. Which he's still not, so I'm going to have to kite around this corner if I can. Uh-oh. Alright, I killed one of them, so I shouldn't die now. And I can use this corner now. And abuse this corner until hopefully I kill the rest of them. Yeah, alright. So, yeah, Scorpios obviously are really good. 3 Scorpio boss room, it's a little cheesy, but it's beatable with, you know, good I don't know, you just think about it and you just keep kiting back until one of them is dead. And you can also just kill all of them if you get around a corner like this and you get all of their hooks timed out to be the same. You can basically just pop out, wait for the hooks, pop back in, and then just shoot a couple of times. As soon as they're about to hook again, you just go back around this corner and just repeat that over and over. And they'll never do any damage to you, but sometimes it's hard to find a position like that and then to time all the hooks out without getting hit yourself. But with that, that's number 3. So I'll end the video here. If you guys enjoyed it, please subscribe, please leave a like. If you want to be a part of Viewer Castles, you can contact me by emailing me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. You can leave a comment in hopefully one of the newer videos of Viewer Castles, because I can't go through all of them every day. You know, we're going on almost 20 episodes now, so me checking those on a daily basis is actually pretty time consuming, you know. So hopefully on one of the newer episodes. Obviously if you're a new viewer and you're watching the older episodes, then there's not much that I'm going to be able to do to tell you to leave comments on the newer ones. And you can also attack me and leave a comment there. Leaving your in-game name and your summoner level, castle level is appreciated as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.